my oldest grandson, Justin, thought it would be a good idea if I talked about my paintings and he can make a video. So this is my first painting that I ever did, and it turned out, but I had lots of help from the instructor and the owner of the studio, which is Tracy. Now this is the first painting, and when it was finished, I was happy with it because I had done a bit of painting on my own at Lake Windermere, but I was never satisfied. But this one, I was glad to have this finished, and I liked it. Mm-hmm. So later on, I joined up with the group that met at the studio, and that was many years ago. I think it's probably around 13 years, and I'm still going to the studio. It's in a different location, but the same owner, Tracy, and we have a great time. We have, in our small group, there's 8 of us that are regulars. We laugh and we talk and we paint and we have a great time. Now this other painting that's up here on the fireplace is one that I never had framed. And it happened to be one that actually Bill found this painting or a picture someplace, and he said, "Why don't you paint this?" So I did. But I never had it framed, unfortunately, while he was still alive. But after he had passed away, I thought about it. So I went with Tracy to a place where they did framing, and this is the end result. This is the one I did for Bill, and it just fits on the fireplace so that I can look at it every day, and I can think of my husband, and it's a good thing. Now out in the hall are some other paintings that we hung, and each one has a little bit of a story. Over here in this hallway is apple blossoms. Now this was painted in, what year was it, Justin?
2005.
2005. I was at the library and I was looking through some magazines trying to get some ideas for paintings, and this was a magazine with different gardens, and when I came across the apple blossoms in this one, I thought, that's perfect. And even though the magazine was in the library, I decided I would just take it because it was an old issue and I didn't think anyone would want it anyway. So I just ripped it out of the magazine, took it to the studio, and this is the end result. And I actually liked this one. I liked the vagueness of the background, and it's now in my hallway, and I still enjoy it. Then we'll move on to one that has another bit of a story to it. It's one down here that I painted of boats, and it was painted from a postcard that I saw in, while vacationing in Nova Scotia. And I was with my 2 sisters and their husbands, and we were all celebrating our anniversaries. And just around the corner from where this painting was done was a little restaurant, and while my sisters and their husbands were having a snack at the little restaurant that was right on the lake, I started looking through some postcards, and this was the result. I bought the postcard, and with a little bit of additions here and there, I painted this picture. There were more boats, but I didn't want it all cluttered up with boats. So this is how it ended. But the story that goes with it, I had told Tracy, the owner of the studio, that we had bought a boat at Windermere, and I had told my boys that the boat should be named the Mary Eileen. And of course they never did, and I said I was going to swim out to the raft some night and take a bucket of black paint with me, and I was going to put my name on the boat. And of course I never did this. But Tracy, for some reason, remembered this story. So when I finished this boat here, she said, Eileen, you know what name to put on it? And I sort of looked at her. I really didn't know what she was talking about. She said, remember, you told me about you never got your name on your boat at Lake Windermere. So put it on this boat, and the Mary Eileen is painted on the side of this one. So that's the story with this particular one, and this was taken in Bedeck, Nova Scotia. So this is my studio, and it's a little messy, but it's a small area, but the lighting is perfect for painting in here. So come with me and I'll show you into my studio. A lot of the paintings have been given away to people that I like, and now I'm working on one for my son Rodney. He's asked me to do it, and I really thought he had lost his mind because I had never painted a horse, and I thought it was a big undertaking to do this particular picture. But because he has Native people working in the office, this is the one he wanted. So I started this, and as you can see, it is coming along. And a few more weeks at the studio and at home, this will end up being given to him, and I think it's going to turn out, so I'm happy about that. It was a lot of detail in this. It might not look like it, but there is a lot of detail, and it took a long time to paint it. But if the end result is good, then I'll be really happy to give it to Rod.
Is there any advice that you would give to new or would-be painters, or just starting out?
I think that the advice that I would give someone that would like to perhaps go to a studio and learn a bit about painting, there'd be no better place than going to Tracy's studio, Mid-Lake studio, because she's an excellent teacher and very knowledgeable. But I think if you have that desire to paint, that is what you need. You just want to paint. And if you go under her leadership, you'll find that you'll end up being successful. But have that desire first.
And what do you enjoy most about painting over the years?
I think perhaps the actual painting, it's exciting to see what you're coming up with, but it's also the friendships that I've formed because I've been working with these people. We only have one gentleman in our group. The rest are all women similar to myself, and we've been together, I believe it's 12 or 13 years now. So it's a fellowship, and as well as the painting. But of course, the painting is the most important part.
Grandma, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your art with us. And it's just been fantastic just spending time with you and taking you to your art class and meeting all of your friends and mentors. And yeah, I'm glad that this is just a wonderful part of your life, and we're all so happy for you.
Well, you're very welcome, Justin. And I should add right now, when I'm not driving a car myself, Justin and his, mostly Justin, but Justin and his brother Connor are making sure that I get to class and that I get home again afterwards. So, thank you very much. That's it.